Hi, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the XDC AMA series. To start with, just a quick introduction about the objective behind the series. We started this XDC Network AMA, the Ask Me Anything series, sometimes in the last quarter of last year. And this is done with the various partners and the app teams who have built their projects on the XinFin XDC network, or they have collaborated with in different modes with the XDC network. And the basic objective behind this is to showcase the portfolio of these partner companies, these application teams, and in turn create an awareness about the potential and what all is being done on the XinFin XDC network. And in this process, it is building up the scaling of the community and the ecosystem. So it involves all the stakeholders, which is the partners, the project owners, and of course the community guys, which is you people. A little bit of introduction about myself. My name is Meenu, and I am a tech evangelist. In the blockchain space, I help the founders to build up their communities and scale up their ecosystem. And I do have a podcast channel which is called Blockchain Hustle. And through this channel, I try to put together the various concepts behind this powerful technology, which is blockchain. And along with the explaining about these concepts, I also try to bring about or share the real life use cases. So I'm not talking about the prototypes or something, but real, actual, practical cases, which is happening worldwide. And the objective is to bridge the gaps between the concepts to the real world, the enterprise applications, the retail applications, and so forth. And this channel is available on the usual modes, which is like YouTube, the channel on which you are watching this right now on, and on Google, Apple, Podbean, Audible, etc. And there's a lot of content that I have put together on this over the last couple of years, and I strongly recommend you to go take a look at it. Well, today's session is with an entity called XDC. Now, the C in this XDC is SEA, and I would be kind of using this as XDC NFT marketplace, or I would talk about XinFin XDC. So just to kind of demarcate or differentiate between the two. So XDC SEA is the first NFT marketplace on the XinFin XDC network. And today, as our guest for this session, we have the two co-founders of XDC, Ayushi Thakkar and Sarthak Bakshi. And Sarthak is also the CTO at DIMO. A very warm welcome to you both, Ayushi and Sarthak.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for having us,
Lovely
Meenu.
being here.
Pleasure, pleasure. How are you guys doing?
Oh, pretty well. Just
Good,
surviving the
good.
right?
Things are a little hectic, or it's a little bit relaxed at the moment. How are things going at your end?
I mean, yeah, work is going on full fledged, but especially now with the bear market, we do have to shift our strategies as a company. So we are
Yeah,
more focusing on the more technical aspects of things rather than just going all out with our marketing and business development of things.
yeah.
So
It's also
our main
getting back
key
on.
focus is to, yeah, just to develop the foundation more robust and give the platform a more sort of secure network.
Yeah, great. It's actually a good time to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ayushi and Sarthak, can we kickstart this session with maybe perhaps if I can request you guys to share a little bit about your introduction and your background?
Oh yeah, certainly. So a little bit about me. So I entered this space back in 2016. So I did my financial education from Australia, Sydney, where I also opted for innovation. So I'm a financial. I did my majors in financial education and innovation.
Okay.
From there, we sort of diverted into the crypto and NFT space.
Hmm.
So we had a lot of discussions there. We had a little small group where all of us used to just come and discuss the white papers, and that's how I met Ayushi as well. That's how we started off in the journey.
Okay.
of the blockchain. And I personally started off as a trader,
Hmm.
so just trading cryptocurrencies here and there, and then started to consult different projects, and then we came up with DIMO, and the birth of XDC then began.
Good. Ayushi, would you
Yeah,
like to say
and for
anything?
me, yeah, sure. So for me, it just started around 6 to 7 years ago, similar as Sarthak's timeline, but I feel like we came together at the same point but took different routes, right? So I did my education in marketing and finance and innovations. It
Hmm.
was just a major and minor kind of situation there. So that happened, and then I feel back then it's just a couple of years ago, but we did not have a lot of online courses in this space, blockchain, crypto, NFTs, nothing.
Hmm.
So we started doing our own research. We started reading our own white papers, and the group that Sarthak did talk about, we found each other through that group, and discussing everything and coming together, sharing insights, meeting people in Australia from the same industry was good exposure for us back then. And
Hmm.
yeah, just I feel I guess a year ago all this started, and proper integration of this space took place. So that was amazing for us, and we finally got what we wanted to do in the space.
Yeah, great, great to hear that. Yeah, actually, that actually resonates. That at that point of time, you don't have much of information, and it is more of the Google research and working things out on your own, and kind of distilling whatever you are learning from different places, and then try to put it in practice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me start with, so what I've done, Sarthak and Ayushi, is to put together a few categories, which I do in all the sessions. So the first one is just putting the things into a context, and that is the connection between the XDC network and XDC NFT marketplace. So what is the relation, the context between the two, and why did you guys choose the XinFin XDC network?
Sure. So with the XDC marketplace, it is built on the XDC network. The relationship that we wanted to implement was having the DApp living and thriving on this XDC network. So the question was, why did we choose the network? Now, when initially deciding the blockchain, which is one of the most important aspects of launching any DApp, right? We
Hmm.
definitely had a variety of options, including ETH, Solana, AVAX, and even Cardano for
Hmm.
that matter. But what drove us towards XDC network was the highly sophisticated infrastructure. We keep talking about this. That's something that we're super proud about, is the infrastructure that we think is very rich. It
Hmm.
had with practically next to zero gas fees and a high threshold for transaction volume and speed. It just seemed
Hmm.
like the perfect option for us and aligned with our values as well for the marketplace.
Hmm. Yeah, that these are the reasons which are pretty often cited by most of the dApp developers for the who started on the XDC network. Yeah. You have anything else to add on to that, Sarthak?
No, I mean, as pretty well put in context by Ayushi. So, I mean, this was one of the main reasons we chose Infinite. I mean, without even having them of any data sharding, we have a 2000 TPS. I mean, with
Yeah.
data sharding, when it comes in, when some additional layer comes in, I mean, the TPS is going to be practically unlimited. So that's
Hmm.
one aspect which is pretty impressive to be on for a blockchain, and
Hmm.
especially having a product like an NFT marketplace where you have daily thousands and thousands of volumes of transactions. We don't want the users to wait on, for
Hmm.
example, some other blockchain. The users have to wait about 30 minutes just to get the transaction confirmation. So that
Yeah.
that would be a bit annoying for as a user point of view. So that
Hmm.
definitely
Hmm.
this was one of the major, I would say, selling points of us choosing the blockchain XDC network.
Okay. And Sarthak, you're also the CTO at DIMO, right?
Yes, I'm also the CTO and co-founder at DIMO.
Yeah. So could you just share a bit about what DIMO is about?
Yeah, sure. So Demo initially started back in 2016 end. So where we just worked with little projects here and there. We used to manage communities for different projects,
Hmm.
and from there we took the next step ahead when we started consulting different blockchains for business development decisions. So when I say business development decisions, that entail how they want to grow their developer base, how they want to get more dApps on board, how they want to support and grow the ecosystem, how the project wants to get connected to a VC, what type of fundraising would they want to do. So we
Okay.
used to sort of help them in that way. And now DIMO has then now became the parent company of XDC, and we do have other things in the pipeline that's going to be launching soon as well.
Okay, great, great. We'll be talking more about that pipeline a little bit later into the session.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so let's get on to the platform part. And what I would like to start with is, because it's an NFT marketplace, so can we start with a little bit about the NFT descriptions? That is, what kind of NFTs do you have?
Sure. So we do have a variety of NFT projects, right? From gaming, charity, and something exciting that is coming up is this entertainment project.
Okay.
It's an NFT project that will be launching soon on the marketplace, and their concept is quite interesting. Actually, what they want to do is bring a platform like Netflix, basically an on-demand viewing platform on the blockchain, and they're selling their NFTs in the form of membership on the marketplace. So this is one of the very few and very cool examples of the kind of projects we have on the marketplace.
Okay. And do you have your own NFTs, your own projects, or you have creators coming from outside?
So I think it's a mix of both.
Okay.
So Ayushi did start with her own project as well.
Hmm.
So she and a couple of her teammates launched a collection called Lucid Women.
Hmm.
Actually, I'll just let her take over Lucid Women part. It's her collection, so I'll just let her explain what the collection actually is, what it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's called the Lucid Women, and it's a women empowerment project with a very strong roadmap. That was something that me and my project partners wanted to build the NFT project on, where we give back to the community. It's not something maybe just like a collectible, but also something that gives the holders utilities. So it does have a very strong roadmap to back up the project with the very strong theme of women empowerment, where they actually where we end up taking the proceeds from the NFTs and we contribute in the real women-led startups in the real world. And this is to not only help and support women entrepreneurs, but also with quite, what you get from that, we give it back to the NFT holders. So this is one of the very few utilities that we have. And we also wanted to aim on getting our holders some sort of passive income. That I feel this suffices that part as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a great thing, because you have, it's not just like, I mean, sorry, just is the wrong word that I'm using here. It's not collectibles or game-based NFTs, etc. There's also kind of utility, as you put it across here, for the empowerment of the women. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think one of the biggest bubble. I mean, people do often ask us what's going to happen to the NFTs, where are they headed?
Yeah.
And I mean, there you see reports by, I mean, the likes of Deloitte, the likes of KPMG, that the NFT is a bubble. The market's a bubble. It's going to crash. I mean, yes, it is going to correct in some time. I mean, we are seeing a correction right now, and when we do come at the end of the bear cycle, the projects with the maximum utilities will prevail. The projects who are just selling, I mean, not having to engage the community, do not have utilities for the project. So one of a great example is XDC Monkey. So this is a project a team launched on the marketplace. So they've done a genius job. They are basically fractionalizing the XDC network node, and the fractions of the percentage represent the share of the NFT. So every time
Okay.
I buy an NFT, I'm actually buying a part of the node, and I get the
Yeah.
massive reward for the node. So I mean,
Okay.
projects like these will prevail in the long run. That's my personal opinion.
So you're
But
saying that if I buy an NFT, I actually get to own one of the nodes in the network,
so
and
a
therefore I
fraction,
get the rewards.
yeah, a fraction of the node.
A fraction of the nodes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So one thing about the NFT, can I ask this? Are your NFTs exclusive to the platform, or you can port it, or the NFT holders can, or the creators, they can port it across the different blockchains
Okay,
or different
so
marketplaces? Sorry for that
hmm.
matter.
No, I mean, so we do aim on having true interoperability in a sense where the NFT, I mean, the project should not just be tied down to one marketplace.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to give user the complete freedom to go. If they want to go from XDC to OpenSea to Solana to Solgenic to wherever, they should be free to do that. Now, this hasn't happened before,
Hmm.
but we are implementing a package transfer method, that's it called.
Hmm.
So what's going to happen is the NFTs will be interoperable from one blockchain to another blockchain entirely. So I
Hmm.
mean, these are some of the things we are working on in the roadmap for the long term, so that people can just come from OpenSea, come to XDC as well. So I mean, it's a two-way street. If people don't want to pay high gas fees on OpenSea, they can just jump onto XDC and practically
Yeah.
trade in ZFP.
Okay. And coming back onto the types of NFT and the artists, etc., I think I saw one recent tweet on the XDC Twitter handle
Mhm.
about Black Market Records launching their NFT collection exclusively on XDC. Could you share a bit on that?
Oh, sure, I'll just let Ayushi take over. She closed the entire deal, so she's a
Okay.
bit to talk about this.
Yeah, so with Black Market Records, they're a huge label right now in the States, and
Hmm.
they have focused a lot on diversity, which is something that our marketplace invites and welcomes as well. So, what
Hmm.
exactly happened with them was they do have a lot of great artists that comes under their label. They
Hmm.
also have the best way to say it would be they've spread to different regions, Jamaica to name a few, and even Africa. So
Hmm.
when I say diverse, not just culturally, but even when you look at it in geographic sense, they are very diverse. And they have a huge community where people come, they are inviting, they're welcoming with everything. So that's one of the very big influencer and I would say celebrity projects that we do have coming in. So these, I think Black Market Records would be a great start to that. And we're really happy to have them on board.
Okay. So if I understand this, just closing in on the types of the NFTs, you guys
Mhm.
have a mix of the celebrity, of that utility as a women empowerment. You have the XTC monkey, and you have general art pieces. So is it something which is a kind of your strategy, or it is something which has evolved over a period of time?
I mean, so initially when we launched the platform, we always thought because we are in a decentralized environment, we wouldn't want to filter out the projects that come on. So I
Hmm.
mean, these are just some categories of projects that are on. I mean, there are some charity projects that are coming on. There are some music NFTs as well, some coming on. There are video NFTs that are coming on.
Okay.
There are, I mean, in the next month or so, you will just see a lot of new celebrities coming onto the platform. They're just
Hmm.
in the back end making the NFTs ready to launch on the marketplace.
Okay.
So they're like sports NFTs, there are car racing NFTs. I mean, every type of product utilities. So all the NFTs are coming. So we just want to be open and welcome to all. So
Hmm.
rather than having and focusing on and filtering out projects,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the advantage of decentralized world where it is for the users by the users, and they're the ones commanding and sort of heading the entire space.
Yeah.
So we just felt that a centralization aspect here would not be
Hmm.
justifiable to give us.
Okay. Great. So coming back on to the platform itself, I would like to delve into a few points about the workings of the platform. So could you
Mhm.
just start with just a little brief about, let's say, if I am a creator, I want to put my NFT, I want to create an NFT, mint an NFT, do my transactions, etc. How do I
Mhm.
go about it? Just in a small nutshell.
Sure. All right. So again, so our vision for the platform was to be very intuitive.
Hmm.
So when I say intuitive, I mean if I ask someone to go on Facebook, they would just naturally navigate on how to create a
Hmm.
profile. So they wouldn't
Yeah.
actually have to step out, go on YouTube or go on Google's, read articles on how to create a Facebook profile. I mean, it's just there. You just know what to click. I mean, it's just very intuitive. So that's the type of UI design we wanted to follow as well. That's the type of user experience we wanted to give. Now we just also revamped the entire marketplace with the new UI UX.
Hmm.
So that basically allows anyone from, I mean, let's say I'm in my high school, I'm in the high school and I want to experiment with NFTs, and there's a how to start page, and they can just go there, follow the steps. It's pretty easy. I mean, you can just create an NFT, get started in like the next 2 to 5 minutes. to
Okay.
someone who is not that tech savvy, just wants
Hmm.
to play around with NFTs, he can do it as well. So our purpose and our vision was always to make it as seamless and as easy as possibly it could be.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that that's one of the main things which may deter the non-tech savvy people to, and it's not just tech savvy. It's
Hmm.
the crypto and the NFT
Yeah.
savvy people, they can. So
Hmm.
it's a little bit of a thing. So if you really want to get the spur the adoption, the user
Hmm.
interface, I believe, would play a big role in that,
Of
right?
course, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, even
So
the statistics, if we see. No, sorry, go ahead.
no, 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 sorry. Please.
Yes, no, I was just saying, even the statistics, if we see, so compared to our previous design, which was a
Yeah,
little more of on the complicated aspect, now
yeah.
we've channeled out, streamed out the edges.
Hmm.
We are seeing more and more people coming onto the platform creating collections. There has been a spike in traffic, there has been a spike in collections, and a spike
Hmm.
in users creating their wallets on the platform as well.
Yeah. And what is the payment mode? Is it just the crypto wallets, or do you guys also take in the credit card payments?
No, so right now we are limited to the XDC native token currency,
Yeah.
and we will be soon getting more currency. So we are also going to be getting. You can pay with Ethereum, you can pay with Solana, you can pay with even Bitcoin for that matter.
Hmm.
So this is we're going to be a multi-chain NFT marketplace.
Hmm.
At the same time, we are also going to be deploying on and off ramp fiat gateway. So when I say a
Okay.
fiat gateway or fiat ramp is basically something where if I were to buy an NFT right now from the marketplace, from any marketplace for that matter, I
Yeah.
have to first go on a centralized exchange,
Hmm.
buy cryptocurrency, send the
Hmm.
cryptocurrency to my marketplace wallet.
Hmm.
From the marketplace wallet, then I purchase my crypto. Then I purchase the NFT.
Hmm.
The same process with selling. So when I sell my NFT, I get it in my
Hmm.
wallet, I take it from the
Hmm.
wallet, take it to an exchange, transfer it, and then it comes to my bank account. So just to
Okay.
avoid that additional middle step, we are just integrating an on and off ramp. So fiat is basically our INR, USD, and any normal currency we use in the day-to-day situations to cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency to fiat. So that's a gateway we are
Hmm.
also implementing for the users for the ease of transactions basically. So you can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit card, debit cards, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Any interface payment mode which most of your target audience is using, so that makes it a little bit easier for them to do the transaction there.
Exactly, and
Hmm.
especially like we spoke about, new users in the space do not
Hmm.
know how to buy cryptocurrency, do not know what it even is. So
Yeah.
they would want to buy a cryptocurrency either using Google Pay or maybe Apple Pay or just like debit or credit cards.
Yeah.
So they're welcome to do that as well. Then.
Great. Yeah. So coming back onto the NFTs for the asset supply, for the various NFTs that you have on the marketplace, do you have them as a fixed supply? It's a variable supply. Who decides the supply?
No, so again, coming back to the entire decentralization aspect, so we didn't want to cap anyone on how many NFTs you can deploy. I mean, if
Hmm.
a project wants to deploy 10,000 or 20,000, they're welcome to. If they just wanted
Hmm.
to deploy one NFT, they're welcome to do that as well. So it's
Okay.
primarily the sole discretion of the creator
Gotcha.
how many NFTs he would want to have in a collection.
Okay. And are there any fees or rewards, like the royalty rewards I'm talking about for the NFT holders? Like
So
rewards on the sales?
yeah, so again, it depends on how the project wants to distribute the reward. So we don't charge any royalties from the creators. So as a
Okay.
platform, we choose to have all the money go back to the creator itself.
Hmm.
So now it's up to the creator if he would want. There are a couple of projects who share royalty with the NFT users as well.
Hmm.
So it's entire discretion of we leave that decision to the creator. I mean, if they want to, they're happy to. If they don't, I mean, even that's cool.
So when the creator sells his NFT, at
Hmm.
that time the platform takes a percentage of the transaction fees.
That's correct. Yeah. So we do take a 2% transaction fee, which is
Hmm.
borne by the buyer. So the
Okay.
creator gets the entire amount, and we get 2% of that.
Yeah. And what about in the resale?
Resale, we don't charge anything. So
You don't. Okay.
all the proceeds, then the royalty goes back to the creator. So we don't take a
Okay.
cut in the royalty.
Okay. Great. Good to know that. So now, when we talk about the benefits to the NFT holders, Could you share a bit on that? Let's say staking, if you guys have that, or anything else. If I'm an NFT holder on the XDC NFT marketplace, what are the benefits I would think about having, expect to have?
Right. So we are experimenting a staking mechanism on the platform where you can
Hmm.
just come and sort of stake your NFTs. I mean, it's never been done on a full scale before. There
Hmm.
are platforms like LooksRare which do
Hmm.
it,
Hmm.
but it works in different manner where it is. I mean, speaking strictly from a technological point of view, it is unsafe, if I may.
Hmm.
It is susceptible to hacking. It is susceptible for users to just lose NFTs in the staking mechanism. So we are coming around that, making an over collateralized, over secured bridge, and over
Hmm.
secured or staking environment for the NFT to be staked on.
Hmm.
Apart from that, then of course there's this pool of buyers that we have, this pool of creators, the community itself.
Yeah.
So people, I mean, people in the community are very happy to just come on the platform. They
Hmm.
post NFTs, and then the community who wants to buy it, they jump on and buy.
Okay. So when you talk about the stake here, so all the any NFT on the marketplace, or it is some selective NFTs with certain conditions? How does that pan
Sure.
out?
So we are going to be doing a pilot project first. So with just a few NFTs, NFT projects. So these would be primarily the most high volume created projects.
Okay. Hmm.
So let's say the top 10, for instance.
Hmm.
And on that, from the user feedback, from feedback from creators and everyone, we would then build on top of that and then make it maybe wide stream for every NFT project they want to. They can just implement this method.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. You start with the sample and then go. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
Perfect. So, guys, the next segment I wanted to touch upon are on the metrics. Like, if there is, if you're talking about, if I'm exploring about the different NFT marketplaces, what are some very generic performance metrics for the NFT marketplace? And if you can share in any of these metrics, where does XDC and how does XDC fare in them? That will be a great thing.
Yeah, certainly. So, I mean, the most common metrics would definitely be the trade volume, the number of users, the number of
Yeah.
NFTs the platform has. So these are the main primary three, I mean, metrics I would say.
Hmm.
So in terms of trade volume, we are
Hmm.
somewhere around, I would say 7.8 million I last checked. So I mean,
Hmm.
we've just been operating since 2.5, 3 months now. So
Okay.
we were taken aback by the response the community gave us. I mean, 7.83 million was, I mean, a good number to have in
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, apart from that, the number of NFTs, I mean, it varies every day. But the
Hmm.
last time I checked, it was about 3,000 or 4,000, if I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
And yeah, and the last would be the number of users. So number of users on an average, we've seen a 124% growth month on month.
Hmm.
So started off with 200 users, then to 1,800, then to
Hmm.
about 2,800 now.
Hmm.
So yeah, these are the active users on the platform right now.
So do you guys also track? I do agree, understand on the number of users, but also in the frequency at which the transactions are done by those users. So that
Mhm.
is the active participation, and you understand about the community engagement, or the NFT holders there. So do you
Mhm.
guys also track on, let's say, certain periods on a daily basis or weekly basis or something? How
Yeah,
many of them are active?
mhm. So we do a weekly analysis.
Yeah.
So before the entire Terra USD debacle came in, before the US market crashed, so, I mean, while we were in the good side of the market, we did see about 84% return ratio for the users. So 84% of the users with the wallet address logged
Hmm.
on the platform, used the
Hmm.
platform, made some sort
Hmm.
of transaction.
Hmm.
Now that 84% has fallen down to about 53.
Okay.
I mean, still not too bad, but
Yeah.
considering the market is down. But yeah, people are still sort of actively coming on the platform, checking out what's happening. I mean, is
Yeah.
there a new collection on? Is there something I can buy? Is there something on discount right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's where we stand as of now.
Yeah. So if correct me if I'm wrong, but I also would put under the metrics as one of the community role, let's say the community size and the community engagement, to be quite a big metric for an NFT marketplace. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. So I mean, if the marketplace has, let's say, zero community, and even if tomorrow, uh, sorry, just give me 1 second. Sorry guys, I'm back. My TV just turned on randomly.
No worries.
Yeah. So I was just saying, so community, of course, yeah. So I mean, even if there is a super VVIP individual launching his collection and there's like zero buyers, the
Yeah,
collection will have no value. The collection will have, I mean, no transaction, no volume. So
yeah.
that, so in that aspect, the community is definitely a key player in any marketplace for that matter, in any blockchain for that matter. So
Hmm.
the dApps community would be derived from the blockchain's community itself. So I
Hmm.
mean, first we look at XinFin's community and how many of them are interested in the NFT space. They would then
Yeah.
divert onto the marketplace.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because on the community, apart from the size, the engagement that we are talking about, so you have this two types of engagements. One is your short-term engagement. The other one is your long-term engagement. So
Hmm.
I was reading up in one of the articles, like Rarible, the other NFT marketplace, right? So it distributes tokens to its NFT holders, the ones which have done some transactions the week before.
Yeah.
So it is like, you kind of maintain the long term active participation. So there is more relevance on a long term basis, and there's more of a potential for the whole thing
Hmm.
to increase, the engagement to increase rather than the short term. I mean, there are different schools of thoughts, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I found that pretty interesting as to how to retain a long term community engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is similar to something we have in our, I mean, Web two worlds as well. What we
Yeah.
have is a loyalty program. So the enterprises would reward you with loyalty points
Hmm.
for using the platform or the service or whatever it is, the products you're buying. So
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
similar where what Rarible are doing, we also have something very similar to in that aspect on our roadmaps, where we also aim to reward user loyalty, creator loyalties, and just people who have been using the platform, who have been dedicating
Hmm.
time to the platform, with whose help we've sort of
Hmm.
come a stage where we are right now. So I mean,
Yeah.
as a marketplace, we do feel it is important to also incentivize and reward these users.
Yeah. 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 And the other aspect, before I wrap up on this, the metric part, is also on the ecosystem completeness, because you need also, apart from creating and transacting NFTs on the marketplace, you would also need various dApps, etc., where one can leverage those NFTs, right?
Hmm.
So, how do you find the different ecosystems for your NFTs?
I mean, it is coming all together now, slowly and slowly.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, if you think of NFTs, you naturally tend to think about the metaverse.
Yeah.
So right now there are a couple of projects on the XDC network that are coming on with their very own metaverse.
Hmm.
So these NFTs can then be sort of interoperable and post onto their marketplace. Through that, can the NFTs have a virtual life in the metaverse itself?
Hmm.
Then again, you think of DeFi with NFTs. So
Yeah.
DeFi is a decentralized finance with NFTs.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that is something also that's there. So we have to create dexes on the marketplace. Oh, sorry, on the network,
Yeah.
which would sort of we could have synergies with to have these DeFi NFTs and work
Hmm.
on that for the
Hmm.
ecosystem completeness for a marketplace.
Yeah. Yeah, you could use those NFTs as a collaterals also, for example, in certain places,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And one more thing, because Ayushi mentioned about the game NFTs, right? So some of those game NFTs could be leveraged in within the games and certain other gaming apps, right? That's also the part of the complete ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, they can have, let's say, the gaming coins sold on some decentralized exchange. They can have
Hmm.
the gaming character made live in the metaverse, and they can have the gaming reward certificates or items sold on the marketplace. So, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
an entire cycle that goes through of with any ecosystem.
Step by step, it grows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Too fast, and the whole thing can come off in shambles if it doesn't have a good foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to hear. What about the roadmap? Where do you see XDC NFT marketplace in the next couple of years?
Right. So with the roadmap, we are doing things sort of out of the box. That's what we like to believe at least. So
Hmm.
we were the very first one to have a secured on-chain auction,
Yeah.
um, which is not presently, I mean, in the different NFT marketplaces. Now, the number one reason also being the blockchain the NFT marketplaces are on. So
Yeah.
for them to have a securitized on-chain auction, that would take a lot of consumption power for the blockchain itself, making the
Yeah.
TPS, making the transaction speed, I mean, everything, making the transaction sort of time period and block creation very slow. But we
Hmm.
were able to do that because of XDC Network and because of the infrastructure it has and it had to offer us.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
apart from that, as discussed, so we are also coming up with our very own staking mechanism on the marketplace. We are coming up with a fiat on and off ramp on the marketplace
Yeah.
for ease of use for the users, so they don't have to leave the platform and actually go to a different exchange.
Hmm.
And yeah, apart from that, I would say our belief is to make it a truly interoperable NFT marketplace. So we really want to have this concept where anyone coming from like earlier mentioned, anyone coming from SolSea or OpenSea
Hmm.
can just simply port the NFTs to XDC,
Hmm.
XDC NFT marketplace, and vice versa.
Hmm. Yeah. Just making the
Yeah,
universal
and
step. Sorry, Ayushi, you said something?
yeah, yeah. So just adding on to Sarthak's point, for us, one of the key pillars to the widespread option is to get people excited about their NFTs as well.
Yeah.
And the project launching on their network, spreading awareness on just NFT basics. So we are in the process of also making our very own NFT programs, free of cost for people who are wanting to get into NFTs with minimal to none knowledge or even experience. We're also
Hmm.
looking at, institutional widespread. We're now coming to the institutional adoption. The number one obstacle for institutions to get into NFTs is legalities and regulations as well.
Hmm.
So, but there still are companies working around this. So, for example, Emirates Airlines is going to be launching their very own NFTs. This will be causing sort of a ripple effect in the market when a user wants to book a flight ticket and they see that if they buy an NFT, they save $200 or they are
Hmm.
getting significantly better offers. The retail consumers will naturally divert to the world of NFTs as well.
Hmm.
This will, in our opinion, enhance the widespread adoption in this space.
Yeah. Yeah. I think over the years, the NFT has gone beyond, let's say, art collectibles or trading cards or different pieces to some utility behind it, whether it's a club ownership or it's some rewards, tokens, or different ways by which you can actually, you know, see that the NFT is giving you some kind of a utility, not just uh,
Yeah,
having
yeah.
NFT as a
Yeah,
DP or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's interesting, Ayushi, that you mentioned about institutional, because my next question was on the adoption. Like, I do understand that NFT is a very quick method by which you can spur the retail adoption on a let's say the blockchain, and but where does institutional comes, and if you guys have the institutional adoption also on the roadmap? So you just mentioned about that. So you took my next question out. Okay. So coming on to the last one about the community. So what does XDC NFT Marketplace have for its community in terms of the airdrops or giveaways or any kind of a bounty?
Right. So in that aspect, I mean, of course, as we were talking about earlier with the loyalty and reward program, so we definitely want to, as a thank you for the loyalty and using the platform, we will be coming up with airdrops for the tokens, for NFTs, for I mean different aspects on other things. So we do have certain things planned on in the coming months itself.
Hmm.
So without revealing too much, I mean, one of them is this campaign which we want to do is called an earn to learn campaign.
Sorry, earn
So
to earn.
learn to earn.
Okay, yeah.
So in a way where as Aishi mentioned, we are coming up with that pro NFT learning program. So for that, we want to the community which we already have who might not know much about the NFT space can just simply come. They can learn about NFTs. They'll get a certificate in form of an NFT, which can then be staked on the platform for some rewards.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
incentivizing
interesting.
them, yeah,
Yeah.
incentivizing them to learn about NFTs, the world, and then at the same time make some passive rewards on top of it.
Great, great. And before I wrap up, any pitch that you would like to make to the audience?
Well, I would just say the market is down. XDC is now at a very good price. So buy it, list your NFTs on the marketplace, and yeah, give XDC a follow, give Blockchain Hustle a follow, and yeah, lovely
Yes.
to be here, guys.
Okay. And anything else that you would like to share, which I might have missed?
And I think it was a pretty holistic conversation that we discussed about where we stand, where we came from, and where we're heading to. So I don't think anything from my end.
Ayushi, what about
I'm
you?
good
Do you
as
have
well. No. It's perfect. It was perfect.
Okay, awesome. Great to hear you guys and wish you all the best in your venture. Thanks a ton.
Thank you very much, Meeru.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You too.
Thanks. And
Thanks.
thanks a
Bye-bye.
Bye.
lot, community, for your warm support and
Oh
help.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely wonderful engagement. Thanks a ton. Until the
Yeah.
next AMA. Cheers. Take care.
Thanks. Bye, bye, guys.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah, bye bye.